Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Conjuring, a new synthesizer list bringing in a frightening set of cards to give the opponent nightmares until the end of their days. We have our standard deployment of synthesizer staples, along with some new cards. Replication is still the aim of the game, but we've got a touch of discard to throw the opponent off their game plan. We brought along some card draw as well to help fuel the machine and keep our factories rocking. Although the opponent will have Robot Overlords to worry about, we're packing a nightmare card that can gain and drain and bring the pain without us having to send it. Let's get in there. We're showing up with a full set of 3 steps ahead. This is the Swiss Army knife of any synthesizer deck, giving us 3 options, all of which are excellent. By far, the most likely option we're looking for is the copy ability, which we can use to copy a factory or any one of our other artifacts. A counterspell can also be useful, especially to stop any opposing play that destroys multiple artifacts. Cryogenic Relic is a little bit of card draw as well as a card we can use to slow down one of the opponent's men. Sometimes all we need is a little bit of time to set up our board, and this could just that. Virus Beetle is an artifact that forces a discard when it enters play. It might not seem like much, but keep in mind we can make a copy of it with a 3 steps ahead, then use the Helm to force discard at instant speed, as well as populate our board with artifact men that serve to boost the stats of our Robot Overlords. Sultai Monument is our anti-shuffler special tech. When it enters play, we can search out a swamp or island and put it in our hand. Although we don't have the mana to sacrifice it to get a pair of zombie tokens, it is a 2-mana artifact that we can sacrifice to the Repurposing Bay to fetch out a 3-mana artifact. Turning our useless late-game cards into more weapons is devastating for the opponent. Repurposing Bay is a card we haven't really taken advantage of, but we're playing it here. We have a total 11 2-mana artifacts that we can sacrifice to fetch out a factory outlet or a helm. And if we have excess 3-mana artifacts, we can sacrifice one of them for one of our 4-mana artifacts. The synthesizer is our key card. We want it in play where it will generate Robot Overlords with every artifact that enters that is 3 mana or more. Getting multiples is a goal that will accelerate the generation of our Robot Overlords. If that is all it did, it would be crazy good, but when it enters, it also gives us a Scry 2, which we can use to set up our plays on future turns. The Helm is absolutely amazing. It generates map tokens with every artifact token we get. The map tokens serve to boost the stats of our Robot Overlords, and as a bonus, we can use the Helm to make a token copy of any token artifact we control. With a token synthesizer on board, we can make an army of AI men and take over the world. No wait, win the game. Entropic Battlecruiser is a new card we haven't used before. It's a spacecraft that requires 1 power worth of men to unlock an ability that causes the opponent to lose 3 life whenever they discard a card. When we station 8 power of men or more, we fully unlock the Battlecruiser, and it turns into a 3/10 Death Touch flyer that forces a discard when it attacks. And if the opponent is not able to toss a card, they lose 3 life. As an artifact creature, this thing is a monster. It can be a big defender that blocks everything all day while our Robot Overlords smash. Pactdoll Terror is the scary doll the opponent hates to see. When it enters, it drains the opponent for 1, and once in play, every artifact that enters also drains the opponent for 1. That means every Robot Overlord that enters play is more drain, as well as the pile of map tokens we'll generate with the Helm. Making a copy of Terror is a way to induce nightmares and gives us the ability to reduce the opponent's life total to ruins without having to send any attackers. GG's opponent, and thanks for coming on the big show. Weftwalking is a surprise card that gives us a full reload. Sure, it lets the opponent play out their first card for free, but keep in mind that we might have reduced them to top decks thanks to our card-tossing antics, while we'll have a full hand that's ready to unload pain, and more pain, and maybe even some gain. And drain. Starwinder is a guy we've used before and has been effective. We can warp it in for 4 mana, and when our men hit the opponent, we draw cards equal to the amount of damage. It's a powerful swing when we can draw a handful of cards or more to really take it to the opponent. For lands, we're playing 4 Watery Grave, the Dimir shock land, 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a dual when we have an island or swamp in play. 7 Swamp. 2 Uthros, Titanic Godcore, the special land that we can tap for a blue mana for every artifact we control, but only after we station 12 power worth of men. And 7 Islands. Playing the deck is fairly straightforward. Our early turns are about our early drops, and maybe cap it with a factory on schedule. Use early beetles to block if necessary while we wait for our Robot Overlords to come off the assembly line. A terror on our side with a developing board can be enough to keep us alive while we continue to build our board. We always aim to copy our key card, but the terror is another great duplication target. An army of terrors with a helm and a factory in play is game-ending. With 4 synthesizers and 2 Repurposing Bay, we should be able to find our key card and get it in play. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Ramza, but what does he ram? Ramza what, bro? We're kicking things off with a 3-lander that includes a factory as well as some of our card draw. A Battlecruiser might get to do some work. Keep your pants on. The opponent takes a mull, but luckily they're still going first. They still have the advantage, right? They drop in a toy monkey, it's hasty and angry, and lucky for us, it's just a 1/1. The fire off an opt, possibly trying to dig up a land. Did they keep a 1-lander? That's unbelievable. We draw a beetle, and that will be our play. Not only will it cost them a card when it enters, but it's an effective blocker to their raging monkey. They drop in a Drake Hatcher. It could be a problem until we get some Robot Overlords, which are at least a couple of turns away. They send the monkey, but we'll block up. That's one less problem we have to worry about. We get to play out our factory on schedule. On top, we have a Repurposing Bay and a Terror. We'll take both, but let's get the Terror first. We're about to hit them with a nightmare they can't wake up from. They play out their Balmor, then are quick to send it. We'll play out the Terror, and that will get us our first Robot Overlord. Plus, we drain them for 2. Every artifact that enters play on our side from now on will drain for 1. They drop in a desert that hits us for 1. Then they follow up with a consult. The Hatcher gets a pump, but it's too small to get through our men. To my surprise, they send it. I didn't think that would happen. No, wait, they back the Hatcher out. No, wait, they send the Hatcher. No, wait, they back it out. It's only Balmor coming in, that's only 2, and those are easily recovered when we play out the Battlecruiser. We'll get another drain for 2 and a second Robot Overlord. We can send in our first Robot Overlord. If they don't block, they'll eat some damages that will take them into single digits. Damages, bro. Damages. Let's go ahead and station. The Battlecruiser will make a fantastic blocker. They play out a memory, an enchantment that will grow their men when they draw extra cards. They fire off a bounce and return the Battlecruiser to our hand. They will get some pump and can get in for damages, but we'll be able to drop in our Battlecruiser again and get more drain as well as another Robot Overlord, and they are tapped. They do make a Drake token, so they'll have a free blocker to use when we swing in. Here comes the Battlecruiser, again. Let's get in there with our Robot Overlords. They do have to block at least 1. They sacrifice their Drake token to keep themselves alive. This time we'll station only the Terror. Let's keep a blocker up on the ground. They drop in another memory. It's a little bit more pump, but they need to kill us off now or gain a pair of life somehow. On our turn, all we have to do is drop in any artifact. They fire off a removal on one of our Robot Overlords. You scratched the paint job, bro. They know they're cooked. That's GG's, extra drain cheese. This is Alan Del Oso. He used his whole name. We get a 3-lander with a factory and double copies. The Battlecruiser is just gravy with our turkey sandwich. The play out a golden turkey. I knew I should have made some gravy. We get to do nothing but watch them execute their game plan for the first 3 or 4 turns. Tragic, but true. Their first hit is only for 2. I suppose that should be a relief. Maybe they've got a slow hand. We draw a beetle and it's gonna get in there. It'll cost them a card and we have a blocker we can use to help keep our life total from dropping too quickly. They play out another golden turkey, then follow up with a smelf. We already know what you're cooking, bro. We don't need to smelf it. They drop a second smelf. Probably don't want to risk discarding it. They send it, and thanks to the aura, their birds are getting plump for Thanksgiving. Start making some gravy, boys. We'll finally get our factory down. It's on schedule, but we're very far behind. On top, we have double beetle, but it's likely those won't be all that useful to us at this point. Let's send them both on down. They drew a land, and that at least grows their turkeys. That's a big 11 spot we're getting hit with. The Smelfmen are standing around watching. Not sure what's up with that. We draw a 4th land, which is perfect for making an instant factory. We got nothing, your go, my bro. They play out a traveling chocobo, so they'll be able to play lands off the top as well as any additional turkeys. It's an excellent draw for them. They send it, and now is when we get our instant factory. Had they sent the team on their last turn as well as this one, we'd have been dead, but they kept the Smelfs at home safe and sound. Thanks, bro. On top, we have a pair of lands. We'll keep the island, but send the swamp on down. We need 5 mana to play the Helm and activate it. Our Robot Overlord will block the big turkey, and we have to eat the damages from the second bird. They drop in an escape tunnel off the top and use it to fetch out a land. That's even more pump for some already fat turkeys. We'll play out the Helm and get a pair of Robot Overlords. And of course, we still have mana to activate the Helm for an instant Synthesizer. They play out another fetch land. The pump is making these birds too fat to fly. They oopsie poopsie and send it. They should have sent the team if they were serious. We'll make an instant factory outlet. Prices are being slashed at the register. It's a buy one get 2 free sale, and they didn't even know it. On top, we have a land and a beetle. We'll send the land on down, but the beetle might yet hurt them. Let's cook these things. Double blocks for everyone. Free turkey sandwiches with every Robot Overlord purchased. And delivery is always free. We'll play out the Battlecruiser and get another 3 Robot Overlords in the process. Then we'll send it. Where do you want these damages, bro? The Smelfs line up and take the hits. The opponent is going to wait until later to block with their face. We'll end the turn with a station to fully unlock the Battlecruiser. We trade in a blocker for a flying blocker. We drew a terror, we'll play it out for the shock value. Not only do they have mega damages inbound, but there's life drain as well. Soul crushing. They say nice deck, but I don't think I have a thanks in here anywhere. Thanks, bro, I like it too. That's GG's. Extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is an unlikely hero. No, wait, it's a hero, Lee. Nice boob armor, bro. We get a 3-lander with a mix of cards that are going to require some good draws. We do have a relic for an extra card, and we can get to 4 mana at least. Keep your pants on. Please tell me bro isn't going to be a slow-mo. Wait, here we go. They play out a dragon sniper. We don't have any dragons that I know of. When you play the relic, you are going to get matched up against the people playing Vigilance Men. I guarantee it. We started with a 3-lander, and we still have a 3-lander. Come on, bro, don't slow-mo me. It's 2025 and Innkeeper's Talent is still a good card. We draw a factory outlet at the right time. We can play it out this turn and start getting Robot Overlords on our very next turn. On top, we have a land and a 3 steps ahead. We'll put the instant factory on top, then we'll ship the land. We still have some in hand. They check out the factory. We're slashing prices, bro. Don't worry about what the price tag says. They unload Dragon Sniper. That's amazing. The problem with small men is, well, they're small. We got nothing. Your go, my bro. That's a bill. My bingo card is complete. All that's missing is Snakeskin Veil. They send in the squad of Dragon Sniper, and we'll go ahead and make an instant factory. We'll get a Robot Overlord and throw a block. On top, we have a land and a terror. We'll put the land under the terror, but then we still have a monument and a land in hand. Let's ship it. The trade is worth it. We'll be getting more Robot Overlords while they won't be able to generate men as quickly. We'll play out a terror and start the drain process. Every point of life could matter, or maybe our Robot Overlords will run the table from here on out. They play out a recruit. No problem there. We weren't ever going to target their stuff anyways. They pass on sending it. Their attacks aren't as good with a pair of big AI men on the table. We draw another relic, but this turn we're going with the monument to get another land, then we can play out the second terror. We'll station up, then hold what we got. As long as we have effective blocks on their men, we should be all right. They play out a tapeworm. That's pretty amazing. But their men are still too small to be able to get in for damages. We'll play out the Battlecruiser and hit them in the life total. We cannot lie, it is going to hurt. The Relic will be next. That's another pair of points down the hole. Heal yourself, bro. Stay alive and fight. We draw a Starwinder. Let's get it in there. Full price, too. No half-baked warping in. We want it on board, and we want it now. We draw an instant terror. That's going to be GG's unless they have a pile of life gain they haven't shown us. They snipe our factory, but that's the least of their worries. We've still got double terrors on board. That creepy doll moves on its own. They have to take us down now, but they can't. Our Robot Overlords are up to the task. They tap out for another guy, and even with the team pump, their attacks are still not that great. The Terrors run the table. We didn't have to swing in once this game. GG's, extra terror cheese. This is Genie Ovulates. I'm sure she does, bro. That's enough belts to keep everyone's pants on. We get a 3-lander with a factory and a terror. All we'll need is a 4th land to make the magic happen. Keep. We draw our 4th land right away. That gets us an excellent line of plays through turn 4. They play out a guide, which gets them a land, but they put it on top of their deck. We'll play out the Beetle. When the going gets tough, shark 'em. Are their pants slipping, even with all the belts they had on? Come on, bro. They're probably terrified we're a discard deck. It's worse than that, bro. Much worse. Did they check out? Are the lights on but nobody is home? Wait, a life gain deck? We're up against the one deck that can handle the amount of drain we can throw at it. They play out an ethereal armor and put it on their guide. Does it protect the boobs, bro? Our synthesizer is coming in on schedule. Warm up the assembly lines and start printing discount stickers. On top we have a pair of islands. We'll ship both of them on down. We effectively have 3 lands in hand still. Their play is a hunter, just a cat that draws a card. They follow up with a boob armor on their channeler. Even bats need that kind of protection. Block? I don't think so. We'll eat all these damages. Can we get some mustard on that? It's time for the terror to get in there. A Robot Overlord might persuade them to keep it in their pants. They play out a flying turkey. I'll start on making some gravy, a boatload of it. They follow up with a knight that is immune to black. The joke's on them. We don't target anything, except the face. They send the team. We'll dine tonight on... No, wait, they back out with the cat. We probably should block something with something, but we're not giving up the terror, and I don't want to sacrifice the Robot Overlord either. In the end, we'll give up our Beetle to prevent 4 of the damage. We'll go with the Battlecruiser this turn. That's another Robot Overlord plus a pair of drains. We can fully unlock the Battlecruiser by stationing a Robot Overlord and the Terror. We're fully able to block what they've got. As I expected, they keep it in their pants and we get to continue to develop without taking hits. We draw a Weftwalking, but I don't feel like taking 2 damage to play it out. Let's drop in the monuments, and we'll get lands while draining another pair of points. We draw a relic, but this turn has to go to our enchantment. It should let us break this game open and cancel out this stalemate. We get a fresh hand while they're stuck on drawing a card per turn. Good luck with that, bro. They drop in a Pridemate, but their ability to gain life is rather limited. A life gain deck with not much life gain. We'll play out our second factory. This one goes down for free, like our shipping. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead and a land. We'll ship the land. We might have enough for the moment. We'll play out a relic to draw the instant terror. That way we can terrorize them even more this turn. We'll send in our pair of Robot Overlords. They do have to block each one, and that will cut down their numbers. If the drain doesn't get them, the army of Robot Overlords will. They run at us with their men. They must have a sweeper. Sure enough, they clear out all men. In the rebuilding department, we are far ahead, and even this delay won't stop the Robot Overlords. The Battlecruiser will get us a pair of AI men. Each one is lethality on its own. We'll follow up with the relic for the draw. And that gets us another factory. We'll definitely smash. On top, we have a land and an instant factory. We'll send the land on down. We could sacrifice the relics for draw and fire off our instant synthesizer, but let's hold off in case they have another sweeper. They drop in a fountain port. That's not going to be enough to save them. GG's, extra Robot Overlord cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.